There's one thing that Genshin Impact players can all agree that we really enjoy, and that is pure unadulterated violence.
Come dance, Nevic hospitality, I'll come out my house and I'll break your fucking leg.
I mean, technically Raiden's Booba sword still counts as unadulterated violence, I guess, from a certain angle. Anyway.
I beg your pardon?
Fear not, friends, for today I have the perfect remedy for your bloodlust, as I'm going to make Genshin Impact characters 1v1 each other until I'm satisfied. Or until I get hungry enough to eat lunch. Whatever comes first. I assigned every Genshin Impact character a number and then used a random number generator in order to generate some fights where I will use my Alhaitham-like extensive knowledge of the lore to determine who would win each time. Or I may just say a certain character wins a fight because they're my bestie. Anyway, let's get into it. The first fight that was generated was Dori versus Kirara, and oh yes, this is a good start, determining who would win in a fight between Sumeru's equivalent of a drug dealer and a literal cat in a box. You could probably argue that maybe Dori could just hire some dudes to beat Kirara up, which I mean, they would have to catch her first because she could just Amazon deliver herself away from that. However, I do feel that Kirara will bring a Prime subscription same-day delivery of an ass-kicking to Little Miss Tax Fraud, so I'll give the victory to Kirara here. No, I'm actually not gonna make a cat joke, and I'm not gonna like meow or something. That's for my OnlyFans. The second fight generated was Baizhu versus Albedo, which is interesting because while Baizhu has shown himself to be powerful, he also can't take a light jog without coughing up one of his lungs. And at this point, I don't even think he has lungs to spare given his condition. They share an interesting symmetry in terms of both being characters that are seen as some of the smartest people in their nations, as well as potentially taking part in experiments that are about as legal and ethical as anything that was seen on Breaking Bad. In terms of an actual fight though, I can't not give it to Albedo. He would just have more ready experience in a fight given he is part of the Knights of Favonius. While he is seen more as an intellectual rather than a warrior, he is also capable physically. I also don't mean this in an insulting way, but Baiju's physical condition just wouldn't lend himself to winning the fight in my opinion. Especially if it was a prolonged or sustained conflict, Baizhu just wouldn't have the endurance to keep up with Albedo. So yeah, points to Blondie.
The fucking audacity!
The third fight generated has Kazuha against Bennett, and I'm not going to lie, Bennett would be defeated getting to the fight. Literally with his luck, he will somehow get knocked out on the way to the fight with Kazuha. And that would mean Kazuha would have to sit around writing poetry all day, or staring into the ocean, or letting the breeze fondle his balls. I don't know, Kazuha is one of those meditation types. What do they do all day? Disregarding the jokes about Bennett's bad luck, Kazuha is just a much more accomplished fighter than Benny Boy. While Bennett is a seasoned adventurer, okay, maybe seasoned is a bit of a stretch, he is an adventurer full stop. Bennett can hold his own, but Kazuha is a samurai. There's no way Ben 10 gets out of here without being turned into salami. Winter Cat. The next fight gave us Chi-Chi against Ito, and I'm not going to lie, I don't think Ito would have the heart to actually have this fight be a proper fight. While there is the interesting wrinkle of Chi-Chi having a restrained bloodlust from the nature of her resurrection, and that just puts the image of Chi-Chi double flying dragon kicking Ito in my head, I think Ito is just too good natured to hurt someone that he would consider a child. So I'm making an executive decision to scrap a physical fight. Instead, Ito would challenge Chi-Chi to a game of Genius Invocation TCG, and despite the fact that Chi-Chi's brain is basically a sieve, she would still beat Ito in the TCG match. Because Ito is what happens when you take the phrase L plus ratio plus you fall off and make it into an entire character. So yeah, Chi-Chi actually wins here. It wouldn't even be close. Chi-Chi would body Ito in TCG because this is just how Ito's life goes. Victory to Chi-Chi.
Coconut milk.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
The fifth fight generated was Wanderer versus Amber. Dear mother of ball.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv.
Yeah, no, Amber's dead. Amber's dead. Amber is incredibly dead. She is more dead than Niwa is. Yes, I know Amber almost Call of Duty'd Sus Beto in that one event, but this is fucking Scaramouche we're talking about. They would have to scrape her body off the dirt with a spoon. He would beat her so hard that Amber would be erased from Irminsul. Yeah, no, Wanderer gets this one. There's no competition. Poor Amber.
Cry louder!
The next fight is Zhongli versus Candice, and
I will have order.
yeah, not even Dia is saving Candice in this one. Though to be fair, given her gameplay, Dia is not saving anyone in any situation. As much as I like Candace and as much as they've shown that she can physically hold her own if needed, this is literally the most powerful Archon in Teyvat. A pebble to him is an extinction level meteor to you. Yeah, it's just done. We don't need to discuss this. Zhongli gets the win here. Hopefully there's prize money involved because clearly he needs some help in that regard.
2,990,000. Also an innocuous number in and of itself, though practically speaking, it is a whole 10,000 less than the original sum of 3 million.
The 7th fight that was generated was Raiden versus Kokomi. Wait, this fight is actually kinda saucy. How the fuck did a random number generator create a lore fight? This must be rigged.
I can see what they're doing. It's cooking.
I genuinely had to go and study the ancient texts and refresh my memory on the lore and do some quantum physics for me to decide this one. Because on one hand, my heart wants Kokomi to tail slap Raiden, turn into a dragon and eat the purple bitch, but I do think A takes it here. Even if it was confirmed and shown that Kokomi is a dragon or a Vishap taking a human form, and she decided to try in Game of Thrones A, I do think the Electro Archon still takes it here. She's already shown experience in shishka bobbing mythical creatures, so she would probably take the win over Sangano Mamma Mia. All this and Raiden still cannot beat Yai Miko. Miko's actually the final boss of this entire thing. Are we just gonna overlook some of the shady shit she said? Have we just forgotten some of the conversations we had at the end of the Inazuma Archon quest? I'm on to you. The next fight generated was Razor against Linny, and unfortunately Linny will not be able to trap the JoJo poser in a tank full of water. So I'm going to throw Razor a bone here and say that he would take it over Now You See Me 3. Linny often relies on mischief and deceit in order to get the job done. But if this is a straight fight, Razor is literally a wolf. This is furry Bear Grylls we're talking about here. While Linny may have some tricks, I feel like Razor's sheer brute force will just go straight through. He won't be able to rabbit out of a hat his way through this one. Razor will just eat the rabbit. So I'm going to give Lisa's stepchild the win here. Though, to be fair, Linny does have some help that he can call if the going gets tough. Dad! Yo, what the fuck do you want, you David Blaine wannabe head ass? Why do you still wear that Mr. Monopoly hat? You see, this is why I've always liked your sister better. Why the fight number 9 is between Layla and Al-Haytham. Bro, she just wants to pass her exams. You don't have to give her any more stress. I would honestly be surprised if Layla can even stay awake long enough to fight somebody. Yeah, this is just an easy win for Al-Haytham. Unless sleepy Layla also gains Conria-like powers, in which case she would be able to give this quote-unquote feeble scholar a run for his money, but she is literally just every other burnt-out college student, and Al-Haytham already has experience dealing with depressed social studies majors.
Huh?
So he'll take this win easily. Finally, to end it off, the grand finale, the main event of the evening, Mona versus Xiangling.
What the fuck?
How have the first and last fights been so underwhelming? What is happening? I don't think Xiangling would be able to turn Mona into a creme brulee or something. Hi, so editor Rain here, Rain from the future. I am very aware that Madam Peng has trained Xiangling in martial arts while Mona has just stayed there in job center, but I wanted to make a lot of bad food jokes, so just bear with me a bit. I know realistically Xiangling would take the fight to Mona, but just let me make jokes about Gordon Ramsay. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Though I do think Mona could convince her to make the prize of the fight a filet mignon so at least she can have some dinner for one night. For all of her delusions of grandeur at times, Mona is a skilled astrologist and versed in some forms of magic, while Xiangling is a chef. I guess she could Gordon Ramsay insult Mona into submission or something? So apparently in the main event, Mona triumphs over Xiangling. I'm sure that's a fight that would really get the pulses racing. That concludes the first ever fight night, or fight afternoon, or fight morning. At this point, I don't know when these videos are uploaded. I press the button and hope my internet can get it live within 3 to 5 business days, so if you enjoyed this video, please do consider hitting the thumbs up and pressing that strange button that says subscribe in case you want to know when I'm next gonna be up to some shenanigans. But for now, safe tidings, traveler. I'll see you in the next one.